Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you are listening, folks. Thank you very, very much for listening. Date today is the 20th of June, year of our Lord 2020-25. Welcome to yet another edition of the Coping Hour, hosted by Nicholas Eagle, aka Moton Noah. Happy Juneteenth out there to those of you celebrating. Very diverse crowd here at the Coping Hour. Sure, some of you out there got after it today on this nice Juneteenth. They certainly did here in Chicago. Listen, as a resident of the South Side, I can give you a pretty good play-by-play of what's gone down today. It's been a lot. There's a non-zero chance that in the first, 20 minutes of this episode, you might hear some fireworks going off because they've been going off incessantly in our backyard for the last 45 minutes. Hey, I mean, if I was emancipated 200 years ago, I'd probably also light off a bunch of fireworks, but I have a 1-year-old sleeping, and it's just a little bit of a rough time for nuclear bombs to be going off outside, like literally in our backyard. I mean, to the extent that I was sitting here, I'm like, dog, am I literally in Tehran right now? I'm for real an Israeli citizen. I'm like, is this what they're dealing with in Tel Aviv? This is fucked up and this is wrong. We shouldn't do this war. This is wrong. All this noise, this ruckus going on outside, I'm not fucking with it at all. No, it was a fun day. Got to see a lot of people. I mean, you guys, hey, if you listen to the show for a long time, you know that I am really big on, how do I say this? I like binoculars a lot, and I really like observing people and like people watching, and it just so happens that I have a very good vantage point to do a lot of people watching and a lot of surveillance. And so, I had the binoculars out today. I'm like, ooh, this big crowd of people down there in the park. What do they got going on? They got 6 grills. They got 10 speakers, and they're all blasting over each other. We got bouncy houses. We got fireworks. We got weed. We got, name it. We got it down. Now hey, I wasn't there. I did not go down there and shake people's hands and say, Happy Juneteenth. I didn't think that was cool of me to do that. But it was fun to watch people have a good time, right? And that's what's been going on today here in Chicago, is people just having a really, really good time. Listen, if the weather here, the Midwest has been getting hammered with really hot weather. It's going to get a lot worse in the next few days. On Monday, it's supposed to be 100 damn degrees. If that was not indication enough that summer is officially here on the south side of Chicago, what would be a good indication is that the slingshots are back. I mean, there was a damn slingshot drag race that happened today. You talk about these celebrations that are going outside, right off our doorstep. Everybody's pulling up in slingshots. What concerns me is that everybody's showing up. A majority of people seem to be showing up late. It's like 9 o'clock, and now everybody's getting here. I'm like, no. People started setting up at 2 o'clock. We cannot be blaring music. By the way, the park closes at 9. I'm not trying to be the fucking police here. But I got a family that I'm trying to, the mother of my child has got to go to work early in the morning. I got a 1-year-old who had just gone to sleep, and they start lighting off $15,000 worth of fireworks for 45 goddamn minutes. Hey, again, listen, I'm happy that people are having a good time, and that's all that matters here. But it has been a very ruckus-filled day. Here in Chicago, I watched some kids chase around some other kids with bottle rockets, and they were like shooting them at each other. Listen, everything I have said up to this point has been tongue-in-cheek, but I gotta tell you, I hate to be the wet blanket here, but I just wish people had more like fireworks safety. I don't want to say like knowledge isn't the right word, but I just wish that there were more PSAs about don't shoot fireworks at each other. Don't do that shit. Listen, what I'm about to say is very violent. So if you want to skip ahead 30 seconds, because it's very violent. A year ago here in Chicago, 4th of July, literally less than a year ago, there was a father who, he's lighting off fireworks for his family. And goddamn, this is brutal. The fireworks didn't go off. And so he walks over to them and he looks down the barrel of the fireworks and they went off. And the police report was that he and his brain matter was scattered all over the brick walls of the alley that they were lighting these fireworks in. And that happened in front of his children. So it makes me feel some type of way. Dog, Jason Pierre-Paul blew off his fingers like, damn, how long ago was that? I was going to say 5 years ago. That might have been closer to 10 years ago, honestly. Blew off his fireworks because he was just being dumb on the 4th of July. And then guess what? He turned into one of those people who was like a fireworks safety, what's the word I'm looking for? He was just like, hey, an advocate, I guess is maybe the word that I'm looking for here. So, fun Juneteenth here in Chicago. A lot going on, a lot to observe. A lot of people cooking out. Smelled really good. You know what? I got to say, that's been the nicest part of today. Is I was like, man, whatever you guys got going on down there, y'all are eating good as hell. Do you think I could have gone down there and been like, would it have been a good sympathy play if I went down there with my kid and I'm pushing him around in the stroller and I'm walking by and I was like, can I get a plate? I don't think I could have done that. I don't think I would have been able to get away. I don't know. Motherfuckers have been drinking literally all day. I mean, who knows? If I wanted some oxtails, Chet Holmgren style, maybe I could have, I've never had an oxtail before. I don't actually know if they're good. That is actually that's a really fun part of living where we do in Chicago is like, everybody that cooks, because it's a very diverse area. Like, I think I've talked about this before, but like in a lot of ways, we are the minorities down here. Whether it's like Asian families or Middle Eastern families or like black families, when they're outside in the park cooking shit on like a little tiny little grill, you know what I'm talking about? Damn, every single time it smells so good. And I would love to be able to achieve food that smells that good, because the closest that I get is like just a sirloin, like just, you know what I mean? Like I just put some butter in the pan and you go fucking nuts with it, and I can do some diced potatoes and put some seasoning on there. And my problem, I over season the shit out of everything, and so it's always very overpowering, like whatever it is that I'm doing. Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Depending on what I'm making, I'll put a little dash of chili powder on there. Fuck it, let's throw some thyme on there. I put too much stuff on everything, and then it just you kind of lose the flavor and stuff. And so I would love to find a healthy middle. Maybe that's what I could have done today for Juneteenth, is I'm like, hey, we want to pass down some wisdom to me? What am I doing wrong? And listen, I know that like one of the stereotypes, you know what? I don't really like the way that the direction of this has gone to start the show. So we're going to move on to the real meat and potatoes of today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, which is the NBA Finals, Game 6, Indiana Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder. Taping this, the third quarter just wrapped up. Andrew Nembhard, was it Nembhard that hit the shot? I think it was Nembhard. Pulled up from a step inside the logo, buzzer beater three. The Pacers were up by 30 damn points down the third quarter. It was like the one game where I felt safe, and I was like, all right, this is actually dead if you're Oklahoma City, because this was kind of was this the most surprising game of the series, where I guess honestly, I wasn't really anticipating the Indiana Avalanche game. What's funny is that we actually did kind of get like the same ingredients of this game, like 2 games. Was it game 4? I think that, we're in halfway through the fourth quarter and Oklahoma City's like 1 for 19 from 3, but somehow they've only been down by like 4 for the entire game, and they end up going on to win, and you're rubbing your eyes like a goddamn Looney Tunes character. What the hell just happened to the Indiana Pacers? It was kind of the same thing in this game 6, where Oklahoma City 0 for 100 from 3. I think they were literally like 1 for 19 before they hit their second 3 in that third quarter. The other big piece of this, though, was the turnovers, and Oklahoma City essentially turning into the Miami Dolphins, being quarterbacked by Tua Tagovailoa, a.k.a. Tua turned the ball over, a.k.a. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in this game. If we pull it up right now, I don't know what his turnovers were at. Yeah, okay, Indiana's going to win this game. I am officially safe. As of this taping, there's about 7 minutes left in the game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 8 turnovers. Can he get to I don't know if you can hear those fireworks, by the way, so I'm sorry. That is probably going to be disruptive in this episode, at least for the first part of it. Kind of a brutal game, I guess, for Shai to have as many turnovers as he did, especially after the last game, Game 5, when he went for 30 and J-Dub went for 100. Did he break Wilt's record in the last game? The two of those guys just going berserk. But with Shai in the last game, it was, even though he had 30, it was probably the most impressive passing game that he's had I don't want to say of the playoffs. I don't know if that would be true, to be honest with you. I wasn't watching every single game for Oklahoma City in these playoffs. Definitely his most impressive passing game of the finals, at least, though, right? And so, I don't know. You keep going down the list. God damn! Jalen Williams was minus 40? Listen, the game's not over. It could change. While I'm taping this, 6:50 left in the fourth quarter, Indiana's up by 28 points, whatever this is. It just went up. They're up 100-73. Jalen Williams is minus 40? Wait, did he not? He's 16? Gee whiz, man. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked looking at the box score here, because what I meant to say was you have the turnovers with Oklahoma City, and I think the difference between like this game and the aforementioned game where it was like, again, the same ingredients, is that Indiana was actually capitalizing on those turnovers, and which I don't think they even forced as many as they did in the game that we're talking about versus this game. But at the points off turnovers, I would be interested to see. I don't know if I can pull that up right here. It is worth mentioning while I'm pulling this up, like 20 minutes ago, real time, Tony Bradley got hit with one of the softer techs that I've seen in the finals. And I don't really have a good mental Rolodex off the top of my head to, it's probably the most soft technical since this player did this in this series. No, I don't really remember. But, like, the sequence was Tony Bradley is chasing a ball out of bounds, and then Isaiah Hartenstein yanks on his jersey and starts pulling on him. Tony Bradley goes out of bounds. It's out on him. Tony Bradley turns around. It's like, what the fuck was that, man? Isaiah Hartenstein starts getting in his ass a little bit. And then Tony Bradley gives him a little bit of a huh. Gives him a little huh with one hand. With one hand, gives him a little hook. Get the fuck out of my face. That's all that it was. Isaiah Hartenstein's big, oafy ass flies down to the ground. He didn't really fly down. He actually made it look very convincing. Tony Bradley, in no universe, in no multiverse, no timeline, no synonyms, he's a big guy. He's not pushing Isaiah Hartenstein to the ground with one push of one hand. That's not fucking happening. They called the tech on Tony Bradley. Look, in the grand scheme of things, Indiana was up by 1,000,000 points and it didn't matter. But the principle of it matters to me. Leave Tony Bradley alone. We got an email from frequent email under the show, Jared. Some of you might prefer, or some of you might know him by his, I don't want to say his preferred nomenclature as MAGA Jared. I don't really think he likes that, but I think he's just kind of accepted it. He sent an email the other day where he was like, who the fuck is Tony Bradley? He's like, I'm so blown away by the fact that I'm watching an NBA Finals game and there's a player that I have no idea who they were. I thought that was really interesting. Because to be honest with you, Tony Bradley, I can't believe Game 6 of the NBA Finals just happened and we're doing 2 minutes on Tony Bradley. Listen, there's not really that much reason for anybody to know who he is, except like maybe he's played for your team. Didn't Tony Bradley, what was his deal with the Pistons? Wasn't he was one of Troy's guys that he brought in and then maybe waived and stretched his contract? I don't think Tony Bradley played for but like I was surprised by that. I guess, I don't know. Is Tony Bradley really one of those? I tell you what, the last time that there was a player in the NBA that I was genuinely like, who is this guy? I've never heard of him before. I knew nothing about him before this moment. It was like a shocking moment to me, was Simone Fontecchio when he gave the Pistons like 20 damn points on a random like Wednesday night. And then 4 months later, we traded for him and he was on the team. I was like, whoa. Those moments of like you're watching a league, whatever it is, where you are like, I know all these guys. I have a really good pulse on not just my favorite team, but on the entire league. And, you know, as it pertains to the NBA, like there have been plenty of points in my life where, dog, I could name you the 16th guy on a bench. Like I could name you the guy, well, it was 15 players, but I could name you the two-way guys of every team. I can't do that anymore. But Tony Bradley, all right, we're going to fucking stop talking about Tony Bradley. Game 7, NBA Finals, the two best words in sports, as they say. I mean, holy smokes, man, you go into the NBA Finals and you think that you're playing a 7-game series. And then the first 2 games happen. Indiana wins game 1, Oklahoma City wins game 2. It's a split. So you're like, oh, okay, so now we're just playing a 5-game series. And then game 2 happens, and then game 3 happens. 3 and 4 happen. Oh, it's still tied. Now it's just 2-2. And you're like, okay, so we've played 4 games. So it's a 3-game series that we're playing, and you just have to win 2 more, and 2 of those games are in Oklahoma City. So it's an uphill climb for Indiana, and the best team in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder, have the advantage here. Well, now after this game 6, I'm confused. Oklahoma City wins game 5, and Indiana wins game 6. Wait, I'm confused. So it's a 1-game series. So we played a 6-game series to find out that it was actually all along a 1-game series. Does that make sense? Oh boy. Now listen. I don't want to say, excuse me. I don't want to like do a hater take in the middle of this whole spiel. But I will. I just need this series to be fucking over, bro. I don't know what it is. No, I don't want to do this right now. Do this later. Don't shit on this series right now. It's going to game 7, and the last thing that you need to do is talk about how you're just kind of waiting for it to be over. Don't do that right now. Do that after game 7, when a team's, hoisted the trophy. No, I don't know. I think that, my biggest observation from this series has been outside of there's of course one instance of this not being true, but through the first 6 games, I was so impressed isn't the right word, happy, I guess, that it was like wow, this is a healthy series. You're not seeing guys get banged up. Like, these are really the best punches from both of these teams, and like neither of them can really, I don't know, if you're Indiana, I guess you could be like, well, James Wiseman blew out was it Achilles or his knee? I don't remember which one it was. James Wiseman's done. Isn't Isaiah Jackson, he's been out for the year too? I guess if you want to be Indiana and say that, but those aren't your core guys, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, and then Halliburton had like a calf strain, and then pregame they're like, this is an injury that takes 2 weeks to heal, and Tyrese Halliburton's gonna play through it. Dog, I don't know what amphetamines or painkillers or whatever the hell they got Tyrese Halliburton on, but that adrenaline was flowing. Let's pull up this box score again, so we can see. Oh, Thomas Bryant got some run in this game. Shout out to him. Tyrese Halliburton, 5 of 12 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. He had 14 points, 5 assists, and a board. Yeah, but he didn't need to be Superman tonight, so that's fine, right? And even then, Halliburton has never really been a super gaudy numbers guy. He's just a master orchestrator. So that's not even something not to sound like a fucking dork, but this is one of those moments where if you look at Halliburton's box score, most nights if you look at Halliburton's box score, I don't know, you might not be that impressed outside of assist numbers, because if he's not going. Tyrese Halliburton is not a guy that's going to give you 25 every single night. I don't even think he averaged 20 points a game this year. Wasn't it 18? And so, I don't know, man. He really is. Is Tyrese Halliburton the ultimate, in terms of the star players in the NBA, is Tyrese Halliburton the ultimate, you just got to watch him? Is that the way to say it? Because if you're just box score watching a player like him, I just don't think you're going to see it. But again, when you talk about his ability to orchestrate, which is really, I think, the almost the overarching theme of this series, is you have 2 teams that have master orchestrators between Tyrese Halliburton and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And so that going into a game 7 is fun, but, Tyrese Halliburton is hurt. And you had guys like Siakam putting up 16. Obi Toppin had 20? Gee whiz. Very funny to me. Benedict Mathurin. Did I miss something? Did he just not? He didn't play that much. Did he get hurt? Did I miss something? Okay. He was minus 12. What the hell happened with Benedict Mathurin? I guess we already had the Ben Math game. Maybe he's just checked out. Damn, Miles Turner, what a stinker that's been. I gotta tell you, I think I say this. So break the barrier real quick. This episode is broken up into 2 parts, and one was taped earlier because otherwise I was gonna be up way too late tonight. I end up saying later in today's episode, I start going on a spiel about Chet Holmgren and how I just love to just not like him. Boy, oh boy, was I feasting tonight. He had 4 points in 25 minutes. He took 9 shots. and he sucked. He had 6 boards, no blocks. Didn't he get blocked on a 3-ball too? Listen, if I'm a man and I'm 7 feet tall and I'm 200 pounds and I play in the NBA, I don't know if it's the same thing, but like imagine if you drafted a guard who was 6'6" and 165 pounds. I don't know if it's the same thing, but I would give the advantage to like a guy like Chet because at least you have the size and so you can shoot over the top of everybody, right? Like a Kevin Durant type of guy where it's like the weight never really mattered, especially like when he was at Texas and, when he went to Seattle. Because he could shoot over the top of literally everybody. And I think that's an advantage that Victor Wembanyama also has, is he can literally do anything that he wants because he's just bigger than you, even if he doesn't have the actual weight. Really just love to see Chet Holmgren stink. He's the only guy on the Thunder that I just don't mess with at all. But I will say another thing, not to be like referential before something even happens in this episode, but I do also end up going on a spiel about Gonzaga players and how they're all just the worst. Can I put a hand up and can I tell you something that I learned? I had no idea. Andrew Nembhard went to Gonzaga? Huh? This, totally destroys. I don't even want to say destroys my theory. I don't think that's the right way to phrase it. It's more like he's just the ultimate exception, the ultimate anomaly. Of I don't know if that just, went under my radar pre-draft when I don't remember what class he was in, but I either didn't remember that at all, or I just completely forgot about it. I would assume I didn't know about it at all, because the way that I've talked about Andrew Nembhard and just how much I like him, I would not do that if I knew that he went to Gonzaga, but he did, and so he's definitely at the top of the pyramid. He's at the top of the pyramid in terms of guys who went to that university, excuse me, who I actually like. Right below him would be Rui Hachimura. And then right below him would be Kelly Olynyk. That's my power ranking for guys at Gonzaga that I do like. What else do I got for you on the NBA Finals? Game 7. Okay. Let's wait. Awesome. Love it. I don't love that the damn series is, it's going to take 2.5 weeks to play out. That stinks. I mean, hey, if you want a healthy series, you need to give these guys time to rest, and you need to give them time to travel, and I get it. You want to, drag out this fucking season as long as you possibly can, but gee whiz, I have just been, this is kind of what I was going to say earlier, is I've just been so oh my God, can we just play the fucking games? Can we play the games? I don't want this to feel like a chore when I have to turn this on at night. Dog, it just can't be 8:30 Eastern tip-offs. That's fucked up and that's wrong. Can we go an hour early? Can we go 30 minutes earlier? One of these games started 30 minutes early. It started instead of 8:30, it started 8. Perfect. No notes. That's at least that's fractionally better. Because otherwise the game's not even over and it's 10 o'clock Central Time. Dog, I have things to do, which is go to sleep. Because I'm going to be woken up 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night with a kid, and then I'm going to be awake at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning with him. I got shit to do. People got to go to work, son. Game 7. Very exciting. Very, very, you hear that? Very exciting. They're excited outside, too. What else do I got for you guys today? Some LeBron stuff, really quick. So he and Steve Nash talked on their fake podcast about ring culture, and this clip kind of circulated. A lot of talking heads had some very hack commentary on it. Colin Cowherd. The genesis of the clip was ring culture and LeBron kind of bashing Rangz, #Rangz culture, and just the way that we view the sport in a very binary way. Have you won championships or have you not won championships? And LeBron confronted that and was it's dumb. Then you have guys like Colin Cowherd going on his network talking about, well, LeBron, you can say that it's dumb, but you're the one that's perpetuated it. And you're the one that has been part of it for all of these years. And if anything, you've just kind of been a mirror image of the conversation itself. I thought that wasn't fair. I didn't think that was fair of Colin Cowherd, because it's I don't know, dude. I can actively participate in something. Like, I can actively participate in society, to make it as general as I can, and also critique that same thing that I'm participating in, right? Like, as a for instance, right? I think anybody with a podcast is a fucking idiot. And I don't think that I do not think that it should be, I don't think it's it should be the cash cow that it is. I think it's insane that we've sort of reverted to this form of media as like the thing. And anytime that somebody tells me that they have a podcast, I just kind of look at them a little bit funny. And you might be hearing this and thinking, is the call coming from inside the house? Yeah. But this is what I do. So, by the way, I think that same shit about myself, but it's just kind of you know what I mean? When I go to the grocery store and I don't want to say that. Oh, fuck it. I'll say it. I don't care. You go to the grocery store and like I don't want to say it. I participate in things all the time that I don't think is good, or like, I don't know how to say. I kind of ran out of steam on this one. I should have quit while I was ahead. But the other thing that was kind of making the rounds about LeBron in the last like week, I don't remember how this came up. I don't remember if it was LeBron himself again on his fake podcast talking about people in the past saying that, LeBron has no bag. I think it was somebody on a podcast somewhere, or was it a tweet? I don't remember. There was a very small blip of like people who say LeBron has no bag are fucking crazy. Like a very forced rhetoric. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I got my head in the sand. I don't think I do. I've been participating in like NBA social media discourse since like 2010, maybe 2009, like Facebook style, right? And then eventually you grew up and you went to Twitter like everybody else, and then it just kind of snowballed. And then NBA Twitter in like 2011 really became NBA Twitter, right? That's when everybody, I think, started to switch over. So like, I've been with the shits for a while. And I just don't think I've ever in my entire damn life seen somebody earnestly say, somebody with real notoriety who isn't just like a Stan account, say that LeBron has no bag. That's not a real conversation. That is not anything that anybody real has ever talked about before, ever. And the fact that that was brought up in a way that made it seem like, in a way that was sincere. Again, I don't remember who brought this up. But there was a day where it was, LeBron has no bag. Let's just invent shit. You talk about controlling your own narrative. Gee whiz. Something that's why I think he's got this podcast, is because if there's going to be an oral history on LeBron's career, he's going to want to be the one that delivers it. But again, I don't remember if it was him that said it, but the point stands. That was bullshit, and literally nobody has ever said that before. copingoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically. Email available in the description wherever it is that you listen to this program. Sorry, I got an email here at the wire. It's unread since I started taping. Sorry, I was just doing a quick skim of it. Let's do this one. You guys want to pivot to the NFL really quick? We're going to do an NFL email and we're going to do an NHL email. And they might be super quick. I have no idea. This one comes into us from Davion. Davion, welcome to the show, brother. I believe this is your first time emailing in. So welcome to the show, dude. Subject line is it's NFL 2013 to 2019. Email says, can you name a bunch of random players that played in the NFC North in the years spanning 2013 to 2019. I was randomly thinking about Clinton Dix as a Packers fan. I love your podcasts. As a person that works standing up, I can say your podcast makes the week fly by. Wow, okay, so we have a stander checking in here. Davion stands when he listens to the show. If you're new to the show, there was a brief civil war that broke out because we softly debated, not really debated, I didn't really remember how this started. It was probably some dumb shit I said, but people started to... I think what I said was that nobody listens to the show standing up. There's no way. I don't remember how I got to that take, but I said it. And then the standers, the workforce of the Coping Hour, the Amazon... warehouse workers of the Copenhagen constituency, the mail carriers of the Copenhagen constituency, had a few of those. Really let their voices be heard. So Davion, part of the standers of the show. Sorry, the rest of the email is just saying really nice shit about me. So genuinely, thank you very, very much for this, dude. But you just wanted me to, Davion just wanted me to do like a ball knower check and just like, I don't know, like name a bunch of random players that played in the NFC North in the 2010s. If we do the Packers, trying to not think of the obvious ones like Randall Cobb or like, Devontae Adams or something like that. BJ Raji, how's that one? Is that, I can get deeper in my bag than that. Sam Shields, Scott Tolzien, he went to Wisconsin, I think. Pretty sure he played for Green Bay. Eddie Lacy's not obscure enough. I don't know. Maybe at this point, Eddie Lacy, I don't know. If there's like a 10-year-old listening to the show, they're not going to know who Eddie Lacy is. But if there's anybody who's like my age, they're going to be like, yeah, we fucking remember Eddie Lacy, that fat piece of shit. That wasn't nice, but it's true. That wasn't nice. Nah, it wasn't. It's not true. I mean, it is, but it's not nice. Well, okay, I'm getting confused here. Eddie Lacy was a big boy. Did Jared Abbrederis, we're doing the Wisconsin thing, did Jared Abbrederis ever end up playing for Green Bay? Because I'm pretty sure he did. Give me one more, Nick. TJ Lang? I don't know if that counts. I don't know if that's obscure enough. We'll just go with TJ Lang. I don't know how long this segment's going to be, so I just kind of want to speed through it because I don't want to be here for too long just not saying anything. I'm for real just naming guys. Like that. I'm like the age-old, man, guys will just sit around like naming guys. Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Let's do the Bears. Matt Khalil. Robbie Gould, I don't think is obscure enough. Christian Ponder. Or this isn't the, I'm sorry, did I say the Bears? I'm sorry, I was thinking of the Vikings and sorry, I got confused there. I'm doing the Vikings right now. Matt Khalil. Well, wait, what am I doing? I said Robbie Gould. So am I doing the Bears or am I doing I said Matt Khalil. He didn't play for the Bears. Okay, I'm sorry. We're doing the Vikings right now. So we'll do Matt Khalil, Xavier Rhodes, Christian Ponder. Boy, oh boy. CJ Ham. That's not obscure enough. Blair Walsh, not obscure enough. Although Vikings fans probably shuddering at the thought of me even mentioning his name. Vikings fans, you know what I'm talking about. Trey Waynes, shout out to the Spartan Dog. Laquan Treadwell, receiver, Ole Miss. That really didn't work, did it? That did not end up working out well at all for them. Can I do one more? Jared Allen's not obscure. That's not a random player in the NFC North. That was one of the best defensive linemen in the entire league. A guy actually, didn't he play for the Bears too? We'll just move on to the Bears. Didn't Jared Allen play for the Bears for a little bit? Chicago Bears, obscure players from the 2010s. Jaquiz Rogers. Kevin White, receiver. Kevin White, believe. Well, no, not believe. He got drafted by the Bears. That was another guy that didn't really work out. Robbie Gould, we said him. We can say him again. Kyle Fuller, played for the Bears. Devin Hester doesn't count. Jeremy Langford, Eddie Royal. Come on, Nick. Did I say Jimmy Clausen yet? Jimmy Clausen? Did he play for the Bears? I remember him playing for the Panthers. Surely Jimmy Clausen just kind of bounced around a little bit. Charles Tillman doesn't count. I don't think he was playing in the 2010s. He might have retired by then. Give me one more, Nick. Alshon Jeffrey. How's that? And we'll move to the Lions. I mean, how long do you want to be here? Javid Best. Tony Scheffler, I don't think counts. Chris Durham. Who was the tight end that got hurt playing with he was trying to potty train his dog, and the dog was going to the bathroom in the house, and he was chasing after the dog trying to tell it to stop, and he tripped and broke a bone in his body. What was his name? Oh, it's gonna make me so mad. I kind of want to call my brother right now. No, I'm not going to call him. It's way too late at night. What was his name? Joseph Fourier? Fourier. Joseph Fourier? That has to be him. Who was the lineman? Nick Fairley? Remember him? Nick Fairley from Auburn? I think he ended up getting like a DUI or something. I might be thinking of Malik McDowell, who did not play for them. No, his was he played for the Seahawks. He got his was like a damn four-wheeler or something. He just got into an accident or something. I don't remember what it was. Give me what's one more obscure line. If you're a Lions fan, DeAndre Levy is not obscure. He was like the closest thing that we had to Clay Matthews. But if Clay Matthews was 100 years old. Louis Delmas. There it is. That's how I'm going to end on Louis Delmas. I could do this all day, but let's end on Louis Delmas because that's a really fun one. Let's do one more email. We're going to dip into the hockey space here, folks. Something that we very rarely do. Unfortunately, the Florida Panthers did just win a Stanley Cup. Again, by the way, for the second time in a row. And this is off of the heels of Tampa Bay also going back-to-back, almost three-peating, thanks to Stevie Y, who has not seemed to replicate that success in Detroit. The real Red Wings heads out there tell me that I'm an idiot for blaming Stevie. I don't blame Stevie. I'm just saying at what point do we start asking questions? Sorry, this one comes into us from Drew. Drew, what's up? Welcome to the show. Subject line, Connor McDavid doing the Giannis thing. Hey, Nick, quick hockey one for you. Connor McDavid and his Oilers just lost in the Stanley Cup Finals for a second year in a row. And with him being up for an extension at the end of the season, there's a lot of talk if he could possibly leave. Naturally, he's been getting questions about this in his postseason pressers in the last day or two. I need you to help analyze these two quotes of his. The first quote is, quote, I need to take some time to regroup, talk to my agent a little bit, and family and all of that, and then make some decisions when that time comes, but there's no rush. The second quote is, I feel that if there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem. And then back to Drew's email here. Until that first quote, I never thought there was a chance he'd leave Edmonton, but this is coming off of a second year where I can't say he underperformed or the playoff losses on him. Second quote sounds a lot like you talk about the Giannis situation over the last few years. Curious on your thoughts from Drew. Well, Drew, thank you for the email, brother. I think a few important things to note here from the rest of the, like the end of season pressers that he did, like the exit press conferences that he did. So here are some full quotes about what Connor McDavid said. Quote, this core has been together for a long time. We've been building to this moment all along. Work that's gone on behind the scenes, the conversations, the endless disappointments, and some good times along the way as well. We're all in this together, trying to get over that finish line. But with that being said, I still need to do what's best for me and my family. That's who you have to take care of first, but of course there's unfinished business here. I think the most important thing, by the way, in this whole piece is that Draisaitl signed an extension a year ago for like 8 years. Was it 8 or 9 years? And so, I mean, you're talking about Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. The two guys, I think, led the NHL postseason in points. They each had 30 plus. Maybe it was just their team that they led in points that I'm thinking of, but it's something like that, right? And I just think you have this two-headed snake in Edmonton. I don't know. I think some of the quotes definitely read like, I don't know. You can kind of interpret them however you want to interpret them. Like whatever you think or whatever you want to happen, you could twist those quotes. Like if you are, I don't know, if he got traded or whatever, right? I don't know really what the market would be. Anybody would want him, but I'm saying I don't know who the candidates would be for him. Do an Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid swap. That'd be the funniest shit in the world. It's not going to happen. I'm just saying it'd be funny. Shit, where was I going with this? I don't remember what I was about to say. Fuck, I don't remember what I was about to say. I'll just move on to a different point. Damn, I'm sorry. I don't remember what I was about to say. I think what's important... I was just talking about how if you want to draw a conclusion, you can do that however you want. I don't know, man. There's just a different gear to these hockey guys. Like, I'm not going to say that it's never happened for any of the players that I'm about to mention. But these are guys that have played with the same team for literally their entire career. I'm not the hockey head here. I'm sure some of you guys, but... will be able to call me out if I'm wrong. But, like, I don't really ever remember there being a time when Sidney Crosby was going to leave Pittsburgh. I don't really ever remember a time when Ovechkin was going to leave Washington. I don't really ever remember a time when Lidstrom was going to leave the Wings, or like Zetterberg even for that matter. You know what I mean? Mario Lemieux. I don't fucking know about Mario Lemieux. I just know that I hated him, or my dad hated him, and so through virtue of that, I hated him as a kid. And then he played for Pittsburgh, and I hate the Penguins probably more than I hate any sport in professional sporting. So I'm only saying all of that just to say, again, these guys just kind of have a different gear to them. Player movement isn't as extreme as it is in any other sport, but namely like the NBA, because I don't really think there's been that pioneer who kind of jumped ship. Like, yeah, when Wayne Gretzky demanded a trade, you know, however many, 30 plus years ago, whatever it was, Canada was so shocked by that as a country that like the damn government was petitioning to like have the trade vetoed, because they're like, we cannot send Wayne Gretzky to America or like anywhere else, by the way. But I'm sure if they, you know, sent him to Toronto or whatever it was, like Canada probably would have been chill with it. The great one. What makes me mad to this day, and you know, I don't know, I don't really know the validity of it, but this is the anecdote that I've just heard repeatedly my entire life, was when Wayne was going through that and he was like, I'm done, I can't do this in Edmonton anymore, trade me to the damn Kings or whatever. There was a moment where he could have gotten traded to the Wings. And I think it was his dad that was like, Gordie Howe is the Red Wings. You are not Gordie Howe, and you will not be Gordie Howe to Red Wings fans. And Wayne was like, word, send me to Los Angeles. Now, the reason that Wayne wore 99 in the first place, again, anecdotally, I've only ever heard this. I don't actually know if this is true. But everything that I've ever known about Wayne Gretzky wearing 99 was because Gordie Howe was his favorite player, and he didn't want to wear 9 to, like, I don't want to say, like, disrespect him, but, like, I don't know, he just, like, doubled it, and he just did 2 9s instead. Hockey heads out there. Is that true? Is that a real story, or have I just been fed misinformation for my entire life? By the way, if you tell me that it's not true, I don't care, and I'm probably going to say it again on this show at some point, but I still would like to know if I'm lying the next time that I say that. I will still lie, but I would just like to know if that's what I'm doing, right? Because I don't want to do it intentionally. So no, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's tricky because are we sure Florida's not just gonna keep doing the same damn thing? Because what was one of the things that kneecapped Tampa Bay and like their their dynasty run that they could have had? Wasn't it that they were expecting the cap to go up? They were expecting a spike, and it just didn't happen. Even you talk about Tampa Bay, Steven Stamkos. Is his first name Steven? Stamkos. What was it, like 6 or 7 years ago when he was a free agent? Doug, another guy, Red Wings fans, we were like, holy shit, we're going to get Stamkos. He stayed in Tampa Bay, signed a 100-year contract because of damn Steve Yzerman. These guys just don't really move around that much. And I think a guy like Connor McDavid, he's won, 3 MVPs? He's been to 2 straight Stanley Cups. I mean, how many years was it where people were like, wow, it's never going to happen for Connor McDavid, and he's never even going to have a shot. He's had a shot 2 times in a row, but he's just been playing the best team in the NHL, and I don't know really that that's going to, I don't know that issue is going to alleviate itself. And so I just would, if I'm Connor McDavid, I would just maybe be weighing my options and be curious, where exactly am I supposed to go that I have a better chance? Because the truth is, is that Edmonton is what? A goalie away? A goalie away. It's been 3 damn years that people have been like, what if Edmonton had a goalie and they just never got one? They've just never gotten one. What if they had one? What if like, come on, Nick, think of a goalie. You know goalies? I don't. I can't give you one. What if this was 15 years ago and you wanted Marc-Andre Fleury? I think prime Marc-Andre Fleury, Oilers would win. They certainly wouldn't let up 5 damn goals in that Game 6 to lose the Stanley Cup. Shout out to Connor McDavid, one of my favorite hockey players ever. What else do I got for you guys? Jesus, I've been going for 45 fucking minutes. This is going to be a 2-hour show. Jesus Christ, man. All right. You guys are going to... All right. I was going to say, you guys are going to think you're going to look at the times, like the length of the episode. You're going to be like, oh, he did it. He talked for 2 straight hours. I'm going to feel like an asshole because I didn't. I'm going to feel so bad. I didn't do that. Okay. I guess we'll just go to part 2 of the show. Sorry, looking down at the time, this totally fucked me up. In the second part of today's show, there's a lot of things that I say that I didn't actually say all of the things that I wanted to say because I was kind of racing against the clock because I was home by myself with my son and he was taking a nap and I was kind of just trying to not like burn through it like just to get it done, but I don't know. I kept hearing him like making some noises and I started to get worried, and so I would kind of start. I'm only saying this to say that there are fucking shut up, bro. Let's do the rest of the show. Part 2 of today's episode, folks. copingoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically. Email available in the description wherever it is that you listen to this program. Big news rocked the NBA. Probably the most emails that we got this week was about the Los Angeles Lakers getting sold. Instead of singling out one email and highlighting it, why don't we just cover it? So Shams Charania the other day tweeted out, breaking: the Buss family is entering an agreement to sell majority ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of diversified holding company TWG Global. Jeannie Buss will continue to serve in her role as governor after the sale. Oh, okay. So Jeannie's she sells the team and she's gonna keep being the owner for a few years. I'm just asking a question. How did that work for Mark Cuban? Did that work for him? Years? Jeannie Buss is she's gonna be calling the shots for years. A holding company spends $10 billion on a team and they're going to let somebody else call the shots? Maybe. It's the same holding company, by the way, that owns the Los Angeles Dodgers, the LA Sparks, a Cadillac F1 team, Wayne Taylor Racing, and most importantly, Chelsea. Whoa. So this is the interesting part to me, is people see that it's the same group that owns the Dodgers. And they're like, whoa, okay, so the Lakers are going to go to the moon. The Lakers are going to spend a bunch of money. And they're going to, who's going to be their Shohei Ohtani? Who's their white whale that they spend, $700 million over a 10-year period? Actually, over a 10-year period, they're only paying him what? It's $2 million a year. And then the rest of it, he deferred the rest of the money. It's not the same. Listen. You can use the Dodgers example if you want. Baseball doesn't have a salary cap, so it's not the same thing, right? The real, I think, note here is I hate when I bring up soccer and I'm like, listen, people's American brains don't understand the complexities of this global phenomenon that is soccer. I don't want to come off that way. But it is funny that people are focusing on the Dodgers piece of this. And they're like, wow, okay, so the Lakers are actually going to be, like, I don't want to say competently run, but they're going to be like positive cash flow, because that's been an issue with the Lakers in recent years, right? A lot of infighting. The Lakers, the Buss family very much has been the Roy family. Like, I really wish there was like a sort of like The Office style show, but not like the one that actually just came out. There was sort of like a show that just came out that was like that. I mean, like literally the real families. It is literally like Succession, the way that these people are. Okay, so I'm beating around the bush. I'm not making the point that I'm trying to make. Dog, focus on the Chelsea piece of this whole thing. They have been terribly managed for, I don't want to say a decade. When was their last title? When was their last league title? I don't remember. What did they win this year? They won the, Liverpool won the league. PSG won the Champions League. Newcastle won the Carabao. No, Newcastle won the Carabao, and then Crystal Palace won the FA. Tottenham won the Europa League. It was the Conference League? Was it the Conference League that Chelsea just won? They fucking suck! They stink! Cole Palmer this year has motherfuckers scratching their heads. What's going on with him? I don't know. I don't know. You also have Brian Windhorst coming out and being like, I think it was on his podcast, he's talking about like, well, technically, this holding company did a round of funding, like a round of fundraising, I mean, within the last few months. And I guess they got a huge check from Saudi Arabia. And so now you have like r/NBA, sort of going off the damn, what am I trying to say here? Basically, they're like, oh, there it is. It finally happened, and the NBA is taking Saudi money. Now, we actually talked about this in the last episode, and I think words matter. And I actually want to change some things that I said in the last episode, because I have learned new information. Turns out Emirates is actually I don't want to say clean. I don't know. But the research that I did indicated that they are not actually meddled with in any. Well, who fucking knows what the documents are. But I didn't like the way that it came off. The way that what I said in the last episode was I think it's fucking weird that Emirates is the sponsor for like NBA Cares. So like all these, I was like, optically, I just think that's weird. That's not really the company I think that I should be mad about. Imagine if like Palantir did a collaboration with NBA Cares. Maybe it would matter more then. I wonder. It's such a tricky line to walk, right? Because it's not like you can overspend in the NBA the way that you can in the MLB and the way that you can in Europe in soccer. Now, in the Premier League, which is the only league that we really recognize on this show because it's the only one that I ever have time to watch. Listen, I don't really understand all of the nuances of how money works over there, but the long and short of what I do understand is FFP, which is fair financial play. So in Europe, yes, technically you can spend as much as you want, but the only way that you're able to spend as much as you want is if it's a percentage of the revenue that your team actually makes. Now, what like Manchester City does, we've covered this a lot on this show, what Manchester City does, and so I'll just try to give a quick little TLDR, little spark notes. So, like, okay, if you're Manchester City and you have who's the Etihad Airways, you can say, okay, they're giving us $100 million to own like the naming rights on the stadium and to have the logo on the jersey. They're giving us a check for $100 million, for $500 million. You can count that as revenue, or at least they do count that as revenue. Chelsea just got in trouble within the last few months because they counted the sale of, they like sold a hotel and they were like, that's actually revenue for the team. And then there was something that happened with like the women's Chelsea team. And so like you can really manipulate the rules and overspend to a degree if you have the means. Like if you have oil money, that's really what this is, right? And so in the NBA, you can't really do that though. And so I am a little bit confused as to like who is actually the guy. Is it Walter? Or is he the actual guy that's gonna? It's Jeannie Buss, by the way. Apparently it's Jeannie Buss that's gonna be running the show. But there's this like it's like a Red Scare, but for like Abu Dhabi. You know what I mean? That's going on right now. And I mean, there's some merit in it. We've done the sports washing thing on this show, and that is absolutely a thing. But you just like in the NBA. All this really does is like, okay, you have an owner who is cash strapped. They just spent $10 billion on a team. No, they can't really like spend more than other teams, but like they kind of can because, I don't know, with those luxury bills, they'll just eat them, even if it does mean with the second apron that you get handicapped because you just can't, you lose all flexibility with your roster. So it's just different. I don't think it's going to impact the NBA. Also, by the way, like, what would you rather have? I don't know. In the NBA or any major sport, any major professional sport, would you rather have an ownership group that made all their money the right way by ripping 25-year-olds off who are just trying to sign a damn mortgage, buy a damn house? I don't know. We've had owners who feast on like predatory, like medical loans and shit like that. The people who are buying these teams didn't make their money ethically. You know what I mean? And so you can complain about the Saudis owning a team in the NBA, if that's what we're calling this. I guess that's what Brian Windhorst is calling this. It's funny that it's the Lakers, of all teams, because it is very much like the cream of the crop. You know, $10 billion for the Lakers. Holy shit. What was you've probably seen this, you know, floating around since this news came through. Jerry Buss spent like $68 million on the Lakers like 100 years ago, and they just got sold for $10 billion. It's weird that it happened now. The reason I guess that it happened now is it's something to do with the way that the trust is set up with the actual family and the infighting that has gone on and will continue to go on for decades if they didn't just fucking get rid of it. This is the best family business, I mean, in the history of sports, I think. I can't really speak beyond America. I don't know. This is the best family, most successful family business, and most successful investment in the history of American sports. And so, I don't know, a little bit of a golf clap to the Bus family, because it's like, that's a lot of B's. You know what I mean? That's 10, fuck, that's 10 B's. That Genie Bus gets, that the Bus family gets. I don't know. Oh no, Saudi Arabia's in the NBA. Fucking whatever, man. We're all dead anyways. This shit's over. It's over. It is, you know what, man? And it's almost like a melting pot of stuff going on in the world right now where, I don't know, it almost seems like people are like, no, that's not a good take. I'm not even going to say it because it's not a good take. I'll still say it. I was going to say people are like, nope, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. copingoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically, email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. Let's do this one from Leo. Leo, welcome to the show. Subject line, Jalen Williams. Hey, Nick. My parents are both Bronco graduates, and I've lived in Santa Clara / the South Bay area for my entire life. Bronco sports have always been a part of my life. One of my dad's biggest flexes to this day is throwing Steve Nash out of a party for being a creepy asshole. That being said, I've heard a lot about J-Dub since you floated the thought experiment of, what if J-Dub had his own team? I'm telling you, brother, that team would have the most loyal and dynamic fan base. J-Dub is a player that no one can hate. He could be an institution, especially if Game 5 told us anything. If you replace J-Dub with LaMelo Ball, suddenly the Hornets are likable. I like this. That's the end of the email. I like this email a lot because I think, well, first of all, there's a lot that happened. It's funny that you just kind of blew past the Steve Nash story. Would have loved like one or two more details about that. One of you guys sent in an email like a week or two ago, and you were like, yeah, one time, I think it was their girlfriend. The person emails in, they're like, one time, or it was their friend, Blake Griffin had sex with my friend, and they did coke in a hotel room or something, and I was like, there we go, that's tea, there we go, that's what I want to hear. Shout out to BG. It's also worth mentioning, we're taping this part of the show before Game 6. So I don't know, maybe there's even like more credence to this, or like reverse credence. I don't know, you can't take Game 5 away from Jalen Williams, which really was the game, I think, that we all, I don't want to say, well, how do I say this? I think Game 5, for people who maybe didn't know that much about Jalen Williams, if it took you this long into the, you know, his 3-year career, however long it's been, to figure out that he is fucking sick, really fun, like, grand stage moment for Jalen Williams to produce numbers like that in the NBA Finals. But what you said at the end here, if you replace Jalen Williams with LaMelo Ball, suddenly the Hornets are likable. Yeah, dog, because I think that it would indicate a team that is trying to like reverse the work ethic issue that they've had for the last however many years. Another thing, which one of you said this the other day? We were comparing the Wizards and the Hornets, and I was like, I would take the Wizards because I think everyone on the Hornets is a loser. And one of you guys said, fuck, who was it? Was it Cooper? It wasn't Cooper. I don't remember who it was. They said, if you go trash for trash, like I think it's actually pretty close. Trash for trash when you're talking about the Wizards and the Hornets is a very, very funny way to like, I don't know. It's a very funny lens to look at it through. But yeah, if you give Jalen Williams his own team, I've been really trying to figure out how we make that happen. I think what we floated out in the past was it would kind of have to be like an expansion team or something, and Oklahoma City, for whatever reason, doesn't protect him. And then he gets picked up, or I just don't think that's just not really a guy that you move. I just think he's such like a stealth number 2. And my brother was he was talking to me about like the hierarchy of the Thunder the other day. And I was like, it's obviously Shea number 1. He's the head of the snake. And then it's kind of weird beyond that, because it's like, I think Jalen Williams is number 2. And then after that, I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of Alex Caruso. Even if it's just on the strength of his defense, but sometimes it's Chet Holmgren. And I don't know. I still get really pissed off when there are games where Chet just won't shoot the ball. And then what one was it? Was it game 3 or was it game 4 that the last like 8 minutes of the game, he just got weight roomed by Miles Turner? You wonder if that's going to be like, I don't for some reason think, well, has Victor Wembanyama been weight roomed? I mean, he has at some point in the last 2 years, he has been weight roomed, but I'm just saying, like, I don't, at least off the top of my head, remember it happening as much as it has happened with Chet Holmgren. And so he's really the one guy on the Thunder that I just don't fuck with at all, because he went to Gonzaga, and I don't think that, okay, the best player, talk about, I'm just playing the hits today, I guess, because I'm just repeating myself and talking about things that I only ever talk about. Sure, let's do the anti-Gonzaga shit again. Jalen Suggs isn't good. Chet Holmgren is good, but I don't like him. Kelly Olynyk sucked until he didn't. I hated him until he played for the Pistons, and I was like, all right, you're kind of fucking sick. It was the Kevin Love thing that really, when he broke Kevin Love's shoulder, that I just was like, all right, I fucking hate you. Adam Morrison, no. Mark Few, no. Rui Hachimura. Yeah. I like Rui. Very unproblematic. Well, actually, there is something. You know what? I'll give that to Gonzaga, is they do produce a lot of unproblematic players. Whereas, even like if I look at myself in the mirror, okay, what about Michigan State? Well, Draymond, but he is not without his problems. But not like real problems. It's just like, except for like when he posted his dick on Snapchat. It's like just him, or when he like kicks Steven Adams in the balls, or LeBron in the balls, or he puts Rudy Gobert in a headlock. Other than that, Xavier Tillman, unproblematic king, NBA champion, by the way. Jaren Jackson Jr., one of the best defenders in the NBA. Thanks to the Grizzlies statistician fudging the numbers a couple of years ago. God damn, I wish that story was true. I wanted that story to be true so bad. Very unproblematic. Will win a championship someday. Not with the Grizzlies, though. And then another Grizzly, former Grizzly, Deontay Davis. I think he just wasn't good. Did he get in trouble with anything? I just think he wasn't good. Zach Randolph, Zebo. He was a problem, but he wasn't problematic. Does that make sense? Who are some other ones that I can't think of? Bryn Forbes? You think there was a problem with Bryn Forbes? How did he just like exit the league? Why did that happen? Wow, Bucks fans. When was the last time, Spurs fans even, I think, when was the last time you thought about Bryn Forbes? There's no way that he's just out of the league. Did he just stop being good? I'm looking this up on Basketball Reference. Bryn Forbes. He was on a Final Four team with Michigan State. I think he was on the team that beat like Montrezl Harrell and Louisville, and then they ended up losing to. I think Bryn was on the team that lost to Duke, like Jahlil Okafor. I think Justice Winslow might have been on there too. So the last time, whoa, what the fuck? What is this? So the last season that Bryn Forbes played was 2022-2023. He played it with Minnesota. I don't remember him being in Minnesota. He played for Denver the year before that. I don't remember that. He only played for Milwaukee for 1 year. But it says that he did not play in 23-24 due to legal reasons. So we're going to do a quick little investigation here. What did Bryn Forbes do that was illegal and a crime? Ex-NBA player Forbes arrested on felony charge. Former NBA player Bryn Forbes has been arrested on a family violence charge. Bexar County arrest records show Forbes was arrested Tuesday and jailed on charge of assaulting a family member by choking/strangulation. Third-degree felony. Well, let's hear what happened. Forbes, who is 30, was still in the, okay, he's on bond, and blah, blah, blah. Don't know if he has an attorney. San Antonio police said in the preliminary report that officers responded to a call at 2:17 a.m. on Monday. Forbes allegedly assaulted a 30-year-old woman described as an ex-significant other. The report said that the woman was able to get away and notify police. Well, then what's the problem? Sounds like she's okay. Forbes then fled the scene before police arrived. That's what you can't do, Bryn Forbes. You just got to post up. If you're going to choke someone out, you just got to stay there. Don't evade the police. Forbes was also arrested in February of 2023 on suspicion of assault with a bodily injury, a misdemeanor, after an argument with a female companion turned physical. Goddamn, man. Okay, well, so there's one off the board for Michigan State. I can't wiggle my way out of that one. If you assault two women, I don't think he can be on the list. It wasn't Kalen Lucas. Who was the former Michigan State player that... it wasn't Kalen Lucas. I'm looking at his face. It was Keith Appling. Keith Appling, I think, recently got sent to jail because he killed someone. Let's look this up. Keith Appling murder. I don't think it was Kalen Lucas. Yeah, ex-Michigan State star Keith Appling pleads guilty in murder case. He shot a guy in 2021. He went to jail, or he got sentenced at least in 2023. Adrian Payne was unproblematic. Rest in peace. He was murdered. That was a tough, man, that sucked. So, okay, how did we get here? Problematic players. Yeah, I don't know. We got here from the JW email. Let's do another one. copinghoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically. Email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. I don't think I read this one. And it seems like it might be heavy, but let's give it a shot. This one comes to us from Carter. Carter, what's up? Welcome to the show. Subject line, divorced parents drama. Hi, Noah. First time, long time. I'm emailing you because I've been having some family drama recently. My cousin on my mom's side got married, and my mom did not attend the wedding, even though she was invited. This is because my father attended the wedding. My father was in charge of cooking and helped clean up the wedding until 11:30 at night, and has always been good to my mother's side of the family. My mother also did not attend my birthday party because my dad was there. The party was at her parents' house, and she does not go to her parents' house when my dad is there. That seems weird. It's her parents. She doesn't... That's what you said, right? The party was at her parents' house, and she does not want to go to her parents' house when my dad is there. Okay, so the trend here is just that your mom doesn't want to be around him, which is something I learned last week. My mom feels like my dad is trying to earn brownie points and separate her from her family. My issue is I feel as though my mom is being selfish, but I know what she is going through is hard. My girlfriend, on the other hand, has little sympathy for my mom and has decided to not attend events with my mom until my mother starts showing up for her kids and family. My girlfriend has also been telling me to talk to my mother about her actions, which is something I want to do, but I don't know how to approach. I know you don't have much context, but I would love to hear what you think. Is my mother being selfish, or is she justified as well? Or is she justified as well as how you would approach the... I don't know what you're saying here. So how would I approach the conversation with her? Sorry for the bad formatting. I did not attend school in the grades of 3rd to 7th grade, so my gamer is a little behind. That's a funny way to... my gamer is a little behind. You also sent me a picture. Good-looking dude, and at least 6 feet tall. At least he's right next to like a measuring thing, so that's how I'm not just eyeballing. Yeah, that's at least 6 feet. No, really nice little quarter zip here. I really like that sweater. Okay, can I be honest with you? Very interesting email, and we will jump into it. I would love an email about why the fuck you didn't go to school from 3rd grade to 7th grade. What's that all about? I don't know that I'll read it on the show, to be honest with you. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to read it, so you don't have to send it in. I will read it myself. Okay. You know, it's a sort of a reoccurring theme here, just to actually address your email. Reoccurring theme here at the show that we do emails where guys are having like issues with their mom. And it's funny to me that we also have an equal number of relationships where, an equal number of emails with like relationship issues and like dealing with women. And I'm like, well, maybe you should fix the relationship with your fucking mom. But I don't think that's not the case here for you. I'm just sort of doing a generalization here, brother. So, all right, clearly, your mom is going through something with your dad, the details of which are absent. Maybe you don't even know. And whatever that hardship is for them, it has led to your mother, I don't want to say abandoning you, because I'm sure she'll still see you just as long as he's not around, but being a little bit frustrating. We'll say that. How do you approach a conversation with her? You know, I've had issues with my mom, like in the last year, and my way of talking about it was sending like 3 texts and then not saying anything for like 8 months. Like a long time. I didn't see my mom I didn't talk to my mom from June of last year until Christmas. Because and it was for completely different reasons. It's not the same thing as you. And so I'm somebody who has a really hard time, as much as I love confrontation, sometimes starting those conversations is really difficult. And I don't think there's anything wrong with just like really putting it all out there, brother, and being like, maybe the next time that this happens, right, where you find out that she's not going to be doing something with you because your dad is going to be there, maybe that's the easiest way to go into it, right? Instead of just kind of like, well, why don't I just finish the point? Hey, I'm not going to make it to this thing and blah, 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 blah. Maybe she won't explicitly say it's because of your dad. And you can just straight up be like, hey, man, like that makes me feel bad it makes me feel like you don't want to be around me. Like it makes me feel, I don't know if this is true, but like that would make me feel like I did something wrong. And maybe that's just me making it about me, but it's like, dog, you're my mom. You guys are my parents. And so listen, unless your dad did like unspeakable things to your mom, I believe that there is a responsibility as the parents to just be there for your kids. And when you're having a birthday party or there's like a wedding and even if it's not about you, and like your parents can't just be civil for like 2-3 hours. And I really want to hammer this home. Your mom may be completely valid in this, by the way. If there may be a very good reason that your mom does not want to be around him and like doesn't even want to see him. And if that is the case, whatever it is, if your mom has reason to be acting the way that she is, I would also feel some type of way if your dad was then showing up at my parents' house, even if it was like for you and like, you know what I mean? Like it's for a birthday party. I would be like, get the fuck out of here. What you did to me, you don't get to be with my parents. Hell no. And the only reason that I wonder if there is actually some merit to it is why would your mom think that your dad is like trying to earn quote unquote brownie points? Why would he be doing that? What has happened? What was did you say this explicitly? I'm assuming they are, my cousin was family drama. So, okay. I don't think you explicitly said in here that they're divorced, but obviously, I mean, they are, right? Why would your dad, or rather, why would your mom think that your dad would need to earn brownie points if something didn't actually happen? Or your mom is Delulu. That wasn't nice. I was trying to be funny, but I just don't like how that came out. That's your mom, bro. I'm not trying to disrespect your mom. Or maybe your mom is kind of in her own little world and your dad is actually just doing like what I mentioned before, like the quote unquote right thing. And just being civil and being there for your kids and putting on a brave face. Now, it's easy for him to do that shit when your mom isn't even around. Because maybe that's the other piece of this is like, you will learn a lot judging like body language and like shit that gets said like in passing when they are around each other. Did I miss something in the email? Like when was the last time that you saw them around? I kind of want to just like read the email again. There's a family drama on my cousin's side. We're married and my mom did not attend the wedding. Yeah, I mean, your dad was in charge of cooking at this wedding and helped clean up the wedding until 11:30 at night. So it wasn't even your, yeah, man, that, and I am empathetic to anybody who goes through a separation after like an extended period of time with somebody, because when you have to like sort of let go of that secondary family, that's hard. That's hard. You spend years and years and years building a relationship to a point where your significant other's family in many ways becomes your own. And your lives are so integrated and you're spending holidays with them and you have routines with them that you do, right? Some of you might go on like family vacations with your significant other or something like that. Or you bring your significant other on family vacations with you. Imagine how they're going to feel when you're not together anymore. Not just because they don't get to go on a free trip, but because it's like, dog, this has been my whole life. Anytime in the last 11 years that Maddie, my girlfriend, and I have been on like some sort of a sabbatical from each other and we just kind of were like, we need to stop for a little bit. One of the hardest, I don't want to say the hardest part, but one of the hardest parts about that process is like when it's Christmas or when it's Thanksgiving or when it's whatever. And I just want to see them. Those are the people that I want to see, right? In a lot of ways, like my family, I love, but it's not like what I value with Maddie's family is like the tradition and the conventionalness of their dynamics and everything that I believed a family was supposed to be when I was growing up. Like I don't want to say like the nuclear family, like a man and a woman and their kids. I don't really mean it like that, but like a Hallmark family. You know, this is the shit that we do, and like it's a Christmas and we're all singing and we're doing all this fun shit, and like I had a good childhood. Like my parents fought. I heard shit that I shouldn't have heard, and like just like everybody else at home, right? Like your parents fought, they got divorced, it sucked. If your parents are still together, you don't know what that's like. I'm gonna wager that 95% of you out there, your parents have separated, right? With Maddie's family, like I was actually just talking to them about this less than a month ago. I was saying this to my father-in-law. I was like, dog, when I first started coming around here and you guys are doing like at dinner, every single person at the table, they call it highs and lows. Every single person at the table has to say the high point of their day and the low point of their day. And you go around, and then they also, they always do a cheers, and they have those little traditions. I said to them, I was like, my first impression of that is like, what is this, a fucking sitcom? People actually do this kind of stuff? But then the more repetition of, I don't know, all of the different things that they do, I was like, holy shit, this is just like what I've wanted. Like this is the identity of family that I have craved for so long, right? Where like my family now, I talk to my grandparents like once or twice a month. I'll give them a call, right? We'll talk for like an hour and a half. I talk to my brother every day, and he lives here in Chicago. Usually it's just about like sports or some shit, but we still talk every day. I talk to my sister a decent amount. Usually we just kind of vent to each other about shit like twice a month, if that. My mom and I have improved our relationship, and I think we're good now. Like we're good now. I got to see her when we went back to Michigan a couple weeks ago, and I hadn't seen her since Christmas. And so it's hard for her because she missed a bunch of time with her grandson, right? With Roman, our kid. And, my dad, I need a lot from him, and I don't always feel like he has been able to produce it for me. And everyone in my family has had ups and downs with him. My brother recently got out of one. I feel a little bit uncomfortable talking about this right now because it doesn't really feel like cool of me to do it, but the truth is that I don't really do it that much. And when you have, like, it was really hard when Roman was born last April. And I went essentially the entire first year of his life and my first year as a father without my parents. I just didn't, either it was my mom and we weren't speaking because of some stuff, and I could have ended that, but I was angry, and I'm the type of person, I'm a grudge holder, and I wasn't going to let it go until it was Christmas. And I was like, you know what? I just gotta, it's the right thing to do. She deserves to see her family and her grandson and her son and her daughter-in-law for Christmas. I can't keep doing this forever. I cannot keep punishing this woman. It's okay. And now things are fine. But I didn't have that support. My dad, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I know that was kind of a very sudden like pause. I just man, this email really got the gears spinning, didn't it? I'm sorry, brother. I don't think I really ended up giving you too much in there. But I really hope that you get some clarity maybe on like what's going on. And I also think that your girlfriend, I don't know, maybe kind of has a point. Because they're just, you don't want to make an emotional decision and like cut somebody off without knowing anything. Do you think there's a reason that your mother is so staunchly opposed to being within 100 yards of him? I just don't think, like, look, I don't want to be like, bitches do be crazy. No, I don't mean it like that. But like, I just don't think people, has nothing to do with like the identity of a woman. People don't just like act the way that your mom is acting for no reason, for none at all. Maybe you'll get to the bottom of it and you'll find out that maybe she's being a little dramatic, but there's got to be something. And it's the brownie points thing that I just keep going back to, right? Because this doesn't even say, I can already see the comments and somebody's going to use the word manipulation, but it doesn't seem like she's manipulating you. It just seems like she's like, listen, you didn't give me that much, so I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to cover all the bases here. It's more like standoffish than like trying to convince you that she's like, I don't think she's trying to turn you against your dad, at least. It doesn't sound like that. When I say that, does that resonate with you? Are you like, oh shit, it actually does kind of feel like that? I don't know, brother. I don't know. I hope I gave you, what was that, like 10 minutes? I hope I gave you something in there. What else should we got this week, folks? My birthday was on Monday. Had Father's Day Sunday. My birthday was Monday. So it was like 2 days in a row that were all about me. And I got to tell you something. First of all, some of you may go down to the comments and be like, happy belated birthday. Please don't. Please don't do that. Because of what I'm about to say. I hate my birthday. I hate Father's Day. I hate when there's a day where I feel like, I don't want to be like, even though I just said this, we're like, it's about me. I mean, my birthday just objectively is, right? Father's Day was a nice day. We went to, I know I already explained this in the last episode. We went to the park, went to a hot dog stand, ate some hot dogs. Our son got to play around in the grass, and we came home, right? That was it. It was a nice day. We just hung out, just chilled. My birthday, I hate my birthday because I don't like the pressure of having to like make it a day. And I don't like the pressure of like having to maximize every single second of the day to make sure that I'm doing cool shit on my birthday. To the extent that I will do nothing. I will do nothing at all. I won't want to eat anything. I won't want to drink anything. I will just sit there. And what didn't help was that my girlfriend was at work from like 8 o'clock in the morning till like 8 o'clock at night. And so it was just me and my son all day. And I was just kind of hanging out, just kind of sitting there. And it sucked. It sucked. It was nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. Because even if Maddie was home and she was like, let's go do something, I would have been like, no, it's fine. Just fucking hate it, man. And then I get in my head, I'm just in such a bad funk this week. And I don't know what it is. I haven't been able to identify it. I am now 27 years old. Maddie pointed out to me, she's like, wow, you can't even say mid-20s anymore. Because that's like 24 to 26. That's mid-20s. I have officially entered the late stages of my 20s. And you know what, man? I got to tell you, I saw, so there's this YouTuber. He's got 129 subscribers. He's called Arc of Truth. I can't stop watching his videos. I've been watching for a couple months now, maybe like January. And most of his videos, in the first like 6 hours, will have no views, and then I'll check them out. And I just can't stop watching his videos. But he recently uploaded one talking about like, this is what, young men want, or some bullshit like that. Now, this guy is like, he's just a big Trump guy. And so he made a video about the parade and the military parade that just happened. And then he also did a little thing about the No Kings protests that happened. And his whole point was that the only people that went out and protested on No Kings Day were like 60 and 70-year-olds, like boomers and shit like that, or like 80-year-olds. And that was his whole take. He's like, so nobody even showed up. I'm like, dog, there are videos of like 100,000 people in Chicago marching. And I'm being a little lofty with 100,000, but it was a big crowd. Dog, the police, the CPD was marching with protesters. So anyways, when I see that guy put out a video talking about here's what men want, I was like, let's fucking go. Yes, tell me what I want. But then I realized he's talking about young men, like the male loneliness thing. You know what I mean? And so that'll typically apply to like the 17 to 23. And I was like, shit, I'm not even in that anymore. But if you're, I don't want to leave you hanging here. What did he say? What did he say that men wanted? It was like a good job. And I was like, yeah. I mean, that's a scary thing though, is the older you get, the more you're like, oh, I can't work a goofball job anymore. I have to get a real job. Unless you're me. I'm house husband for the rest of my life. I will never work a job. I don't want to say, who knows, right? I would prefer that for the rest of my life, I never work a real job again. And I never have to do retail ever again. I'm the retail king, but I'm retired. My shit is in the rafters, bro. I'm not working a damn Hot Topic again. What are you, out of your mind? What else did he say? Well, obviously he's like, we just want a good woman. And he was like, and not a woman who's like condescending and like, you know, a brat. He's like, just a good woman and then he kind of like stops. He's like, you know what? He's like, cause you know, sex is nice. He's like, and I'm looking at you. I'm like, dog, do you have the credentials is what I would be asking, to be like, we all love sex. We all love how that feels. I have a kid, so I can confirm that at least one time in my life that has happened, right? He's like, you know, sex is great, but he's like, who cares if it's with a mean woman, then who cares? Because then it doesn't mean anything, and sex has to mean something. And I was like, wow, that is actually very cute. That is, and I don't mean that in like a condescending way. I mean that as like, wow, that's very nice. It's a very refreshing thing to hear. From somebody. I don't believe it, but it's very, of course, I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I believe it, but it is a very nice sentiment, very popular one, but a very nice sentiment for him to pass along in a video that I thought was otherwise kind of weird. Then he starts going off on a tangent of, what am I even talking about this fucking guy for? But just to tell you the last thing. He starts going off on a tangent about like, wanting to buy a house and how, nobody could buy a house anymore. And I was like, yeah, but that's not men though. I was like, I don't think that has anything to do with men. Matter of fact, so women don't want a healthy relationship? So women don't want a good paying job? Where are they supposed to be? I think I know the answer that you would say if I said, where are women supposed to be? And it is not in the workforce. You know what I would love to do? I've always wanted to do this, and I've just never done it, is like do a real deep dive on all the Rosie the Riveter shit. Like, I know during World War II, everyone's husbands and sons were off falling on grenades in Iwo Jima and like Berlin. Or no, the Americans never fought in Berlin. We got there like way late. So like, I don't know, in France, right? And so all the women, you know, they put on their damn, what are these things called? Like the waist trainers that they wore in damn Pirates of the Caribbean. They lace those things up and they get on the assembly lines and they start, you know, manufacturing B-52s and, you know, whatever the heck, Thompsons, M1 Garands. Where are they supposed to be? And so they don't want to own houses and they don't want to own. I don't know, man. I remember when I was younger and I believed the male loneliness thing. I think that is part of what comes down. It's like a sort of a radicalization tactic, I think, is talking about how like, all anybody does in the world is talk about how the straight white man is disadvantaged and how, you know, all these women are talking about how men are trash and so like we're left without our value. And like, I do believe when you are like 15 and the rhetoric that you see online is like men are fucking trash and like, oh, they're all bad and they're all the worst. Yeah, that could do some shit to you, but like, once you get like real world experience and you're an actual person and you're not just existing in like this really contrived like digital space, which is really, I think what all of this comes down to is like, Everything in the world comes down to like log off. It usually takes like 2 clicks because most of the shit that you're seeing, especially at this point, could very easily be like a bot farm. You know, big problem on Reddit right now are just the amount of bots that are like the amount of posts in Daddit that get a Daddit of all the subreddits because motherfuckers just post like rage bait. And then you have all these bots coming in being like, wow, this wouldn't have happened if Biden was never elected. You're like, what the fuck? He was talking about a sippy cup in the post. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know, man. And then we got all this damn bullshit going on in the Middle East. I think it was happening live an episode or 2 ago at the beginning of the show. Israel conducted some aerial operations, sent down some missiles in Iran. Little piece of commentary actually on that whole thing. You know how you can really get to the bottom immediately? What side of the, I don't know what you want to call this Iranian, Israeli / U.S. conflict that we have, / Syria, I guess? The IDF rolled tanks into Syria last night? What? What I think it comes down to, how you can figure out which side of that whole thing somebody's on immediately. How do they say it? Are they saying Iran or are they saying Iran? Because it's like, I'm going to bomb Iran. Or it's like, we need to get to the bottom of this and figure out a diplomatic solution and improve our relationship with Iran. You get what I'm saying? There's a little bit of something in there. I don't know, man. I watched Donald Trump yesterday sitting on the lawn of the White House, just kind of like with his hands in his pockets on a live stream, watching like a new flagpole go up, and he's just like talking to construction workers, not wearing a tie. He's literally just on the White House lawn with his hands in his pockets, just like talking to a camera. And I'm like, don't you have shit to do? Like, I'm not trying to be like, what, Joe Biden can't get a fucking ice cream whenever he would have an ice cream and people were like, don't you have shit to do? I don't mean it like that. I'm just like, you're for real outside, like shooting the shit right now. Go do something else, because you're not saying anything. You're just kind of like, wow, that's a very big poll. I've wanted to do this for a very long time. I'm like, this wasn't even I doubt this was your idea. Whatever. I'm being a hater. Whatever. Right? Okay. The real thing that blew my mind was like 2 hours later. I open YouTube and I see from like, it was Al Jazeera or Forbes or some shit. They got a live broadcast inside the Oval Office. Trump is fielding reporters' questions with Juventus, the soccer team, just in the Oval Office, behind the Resolute desk, just hanging out. And so they were playing the Club World Cup and that damn bullshit, I guess in D.C. I don't remember who they were playing, but it was somebody that I didn't know. It was a team that I don't know where it's from. I don't know where they're from. And Trump is like, wow, it's very cool that Juventus is here. He was like, where are my American players? And Weston McKennie was right behind him. And so they shake hands, and it was a whole thing. And then Trump is like, so who are you guys playing tonight? And they tell him, and he was like, are they good? And then I don't know who the representative was. I don't know if it was like the damn president of FIFA. I don't know who the guy was. It wasn't their coach. He kind of cuts him off. He was like, everybody that's playing in this tournament is good. He was like, this is the Club World Cup. He was like, this is not only the first ever Club World Cup, but it's like in America. And so we are really excited for Americans to care about this. I don't know if you've been paying attention to like the ticket sales and like just people actually showing up, or rather not showing up to these games. Nobody fucking cares that it's going on. No one cares that it's going on. Dog, like Chelsea played LAFC. Not even the Galaxy, by the way. Like LAFC a couple days ago. Was there 5,000 people there? I mean, it was like Erling Haaland is in America right now. People don't care. People don't care because he didn't come to Chicago. I think Philly, I think he was there. Atlanta, I think he was there. And then it was like Orlando or something like that. Not going to get to see Erling Haaland. Where's I going with all this? Yeah, and so Trump spends like 5 minutes talking about Juventus. And then he was like, I'd love to field some questions, but let's keep it about soccer. And the first question was like, are you going to blow up Iran? And so he just spends like 20 minutes doing his Trump shit with Juventus right behind him. And then at some point in the middle of it, he starts asking the players, like, do you think a girl could make your team? Because they were talking about, trans men in women's sports or whatever the fuck. Trans women in women's sports. Yeah, right. So people who were born male, then transitioning and going, he's going on his usual spiel about that. And he turns around, he's like, do you think a girl could make your team? Dog, none of them wanted to answer that fucking question. Leave them out of this. Leave them alone. You can do this. You can do your bullshit, and it's fine. The cameras are on, and this is what you want to do. But, do your photo up with these players. And, because otherwise, they're just kind of up there, and it just sucks for them. Alrighty, folks. Really just trying to rack my brain before we get out of here. Are we going to war with Iran? Yeah, probably. Probably those damn bunker buster bombs. That's what everybody wants to talk about right now. What is it? Is it Fordo? Is that the enrichment facility that Iran has underneath the mountain? And that's why everybody's talking about the bunker buster bombs, triple Bs. Be funny if LeVar Ball sent a cease and desist to the Department of Defense on bunker buster bombs, triple B. And it is also equally crazy that the most prominent anti-war voices on the modern establishment right are Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene. What the Huh? These are the two people who are like, you're seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson talking about Fox News being a propaganda hose. We're indoctrinating these elderly people, and we turn on the propaganda hose, and suddenly, got a bunch of warmongers. I'm like, yeah, but what the huh? Dog, if you're into American politics, you saw the clip of Tucker Carlson getting in Ted Cruz's ass. I watched the whole damn interview. I watched the whole thing. There's nothing that pisses me off, by the way, more about Tucker. And this is going to be very visual, what I'm doing here. So if you're just listening to it, I don't think it's going to really come through. This is how Tucker listens to people. He does that. He makes that face. And then when he wants to challenge you, or you say something contradicting or that doesn't make sense, and he does this big little laugh. It's just crazy. He does this big little laugh. He does that bullshit. It is so manufactured, and it pisses me off so much. But he's a really good communicator, even if he's just really good at confusing you and making you. That's why Ben Shapiro was so effective for so many years, and that's why Steven Crowder was good at what he did, because he would just go onto a college campus and, I don't know, as a 35-year-old man, and just talk to 18-year-old kids and be like, so why are you the stupidest fucking person in the world? And he would just verbally accost 18-year-olds on a college campus. It was weird when he would do that, but he would always do it, right? And that was another piece of radicalization. Or Ben Shapiro destroys a feminist at a rally, right? And it's a blue-haired lib who cries because Ben Shapiro was like, actually, that's not true, and actually, you are a man, and shit like that, right? Tucker Carlson, effective communicator, anti-war voice, prominent anti-war voice in America right now. Insane times that we are living in. Folks, if you are listening to this on Spotify, I love you. I love you. You ever been pulled over? Actually, I think the last question I asked you guys was, have you ever called the cops? So it's funny that I just asked another. I guess I'm just in sort of police state mode. You ever been pulled over before? Never been pulled over. Not this guy. Never, ever. Love you guys. Apple Podcasts. What's up? What's up? If you are watching this on YouTube, sure to leave a like, subscribe, nice little comment for the algorithm. Make sure to keep primary control in check. And I will catch you guys in the next one.
Beautiful. Primary control. Beautiful. Primary control. Beautiful. Primary control.